Hi everyone, welcome to RP channel, a podcast that discuss about fun and real things about learning, growing, and our own version of success. I'm Fina, and in this episode, I will talk about that many students can relate to. Do grades really describe intelligence or success? Or do the numbers or our grades really show who smart we are, who we are, and how far we can go? In this episode, I'm not alone, and with me there is Fahira, a second semester student from the English Education Department. Hi Fahira, thanks for joining this episode.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so excited to be part of it.
Alright, I will start from the basics. What do you think about intelligence is?
Well, I believe intelligence isn't just about memorizing facts or solving math problems. It's more about how someone thinks, solves real life issues, communicates, and adapts to different situations. And there are many types of intelligence, like emotional intelligence, creative intelligence, and even social intelligence, not just academic.
That's right. Howard Gardner theory says the same things. There are many types of intelligence. They cannot all be the same. Then, do you think grades can be considered a reflection or someone's intelligence?
Honestly, not always. I've seen students who are really smart and creative, but struggle with learning major lessons. And some people just don't perform well under pressure. And there are others who might get good grades simply because they are good at memorizing, but that doesn't mean they are more intelligent than others.
Well, yes. I have also read in a Harvard Business Review article that academic grades or IQ only contributes about 20% to career success. The remainder comes from soft skills like communication skill, teamwork, or adaptation.
Yes, and I think in this today's world, soft skills matter even more than others. And knowing how to work with people, solve problems, or express yourself clearly, that's what employees are really looking for.
Alright, and then what do you think grades don't really ensure someone's success? Can you tell us why?
Yeah, because many times words do not measure our intelligence, and there are times when students have bad days, sick days, or suffering from task anxiety, and all of these will affect same grades. Thus, the grades cannot measure how much we have mastered the subject or how intelligent we are.
What about the individuals who cannot afford an education and don't know fact that seem basic to you? Do you also consider them as unintelligent students?
Yeah, but they could happen to know more than any one of us. So, for example, a kid who has never been to school but has been helping out in the pages of his farm, he will know everything related to planting vegetables and from identifying seeds to harvesting and the heights of vegetables. Everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, so some are very good in science and English, but they fail mathematics tests. However, when this happens, many will perceive them as the one subject that has failed to score. So if you cannot score A in your English paper, it is okay, as if you could be good at mathematics and you can be an accountant in the future then. But if you cannot score A in your science paper, it's fine. You could be good at drawing, which you could be an artist next time. And if you cannot score A in your mathematics paper, but you can sing well, you could be a singer as your career then. Grades limits us, but grades are important for our future, especially when we are looking for jobs. This is because most people think that if you have good grades, you are smart. If you have low grades, you are less intelligent. So when people think this way, they are devaluing the person. Even so, everyone is good in their own way. This might not be academically. For example, you can excel in sports if you are gifted in sports, such as Liverpool footballer Mohamed Salah, and this doesn't indicate that he is not good academically, but he can be our role model to look up if we are good in sports. Besides that, famous and successful people in the digital world could be another choice. For example, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates is a wealthy and successful businessman who dropped out Harvard University 2 years into his degree and later co-founded Microsoft. He is intelligent and yet he started his company. Likewise, Steve Jobs was also a college dropout, but later co-founded Apple. This is not to say that education is not important, but it is not the most important factor to decide if a person will be successful in his life and in the future. And grades cannot measure our intelligence, so the numerical system also cannot define how smart one person is. If you get low grades in exam and people start marking you as less intelligent, just prove them wrong and strive hard in what you do best. In some countries, including Finland, schools do not even have tests, or if they do, there are just a few. So, if grades do measure intelligence, then the students in this country will never find out how intelligent they are. And therefore, students should worry less about their grades and instead care more about understanding what they have learned. And getting an A on a test will not mean anything if you cannot use the knowledge you learned to realize equations. In fact, students should concentrate on developing their critical thinking and problem solving skills rather than simply memorizing information for a test.
I think, in conclusion, I agree that grades can be important, but it's definitely not a way to determine the intelligence of someone. It cannot define who you are or how smart we are and how you will do in the future. Low grades achieved should never give up on ourselves or feel useless. Being a score doesn't determine good job performance. Picked up socializing skill or high emotional intelligence as long as we do our best to strive and contribute. We are equally valuable. Alright, and then as a student, do you ever feel pressure about your grades or something else?
Absolutely. absolutely. There's a lot of pressure from family, from the system, and even from ourselves. And it feels like everything is measured by GPA. And if your grades drop even a little, you start to question your worth. But I've learned that learning is more than just getting high scores, but it's about growth.
Okay. And then, have you ever seen or known people who are successful even though their grades are mediocre or low?
Yes, there's a senior at my university who didn't have the highest GPA, but she was active in student organizations, public speaking, and even started a small business. Now, she's working in a media company and doing really well. So that shows me that success can come from skills outside the classroom.
That's really inspiring. There are even globally successful people who are number one all the time, like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, or the others, but they can still change the world. Alright, what do you think is more important than grades when it comes to success?
I think mindset is very important, especially growth mindset. Also, passion, discipline, creativity, and confidence. So, if you have a clear goal and keep learning and improving, you'll go far even if your grades aren't perfect.
Exactly. Now, if you could change the university assessment system, what would you do? What would you want it to do?
I suggest more diverse assessment, like group projects, presentations, or portfolios. That way, students can show their strengths in different ways, and not just written accents, but everyone learns differently, and the assessment system should reflect that.
Okay, before we close, do you have a suggestion for your friends who are down because they feel like they got a bad grade or something else?
My suggestion is to all students out there, please remember that a bad grade doesn't mean you're a failure. Everyone has strengths, and sometimes it takes time to discover them. And focus on progress you're making, not just the numbers you are. You are more than your GPA.
Okay, thank you so much, Fahira, for sharing such insightful today. I hope our conversation can encourage all of you who are listening. Oh, wait, I have more questions. Do you have a family member with low grades who is successful? Can you tell me about his success?
Yeah, I have an older household who's always been kind of rebel when it comes to school. In college, his GPA was never impressive. He struggled with exams, skipped a lot of classes, and just wasn't interested in academics. I remember many gatherings where the adults would whisper about how he needed to get it together or ask him what his backup plan was. But my cousin had something else going for him. He was insanely passionate about photography. Even when he was failing classes, he'd spend hours learning camera techniques, editing photos, and building his portfolio. He started doing small gigs, weddings, local events, portraits, and gradually built a name for himself. Now he runs his own photography studio in the city, and he's worked with well-known brands, travels for destination shoots, and even mentors young photographers. What's funny is that same relatives who used to question his future now brag about him to their friends. And my cousin always says, he measures how good you are at school, not how good you are at life. So, honestly, seeing where he is now, I get it. He found success on his own terms, and that's something you can put a grade on.
Well, actually, there are many people out there whose success is not determined by grades but by for their skill or teamwork or the others. Alright.
By the way, I want to ask you a question.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Do you have a sibling who has high GPA but has become nothing and far from successful?
Oh. Wait. I think I have like my brother, but not too close. I only know from my parents' story. He is smart, but and his GPA is high, but he is unemployed until now. I don't know why. Maybe because it's difficult to find work, and even bachelor graduates may not necessarily be adapted based on their GPA result. But also, I see that there are companies that really qualify the criteria for a worker, and whether he can do this, that, and so on. In my opinion, today it's difficult to find a job if we have no skill, and then and only depend on grades. It's very difficult, and hopefully in the future job opening here can be increased in order to reduce the existing unemployment. Sorry.
Yeah, I totally understand and get what you're saying. These days, having high GPA doesn't automatically guarantee job, and the job market is tough. So there's a lot of companies are looking for more than just academic achievements, but they want real world skills, experience, and the ability to adapt. It's unfortunate about your brother, but it's also a reminder of how important it is to build practical skills alongside education. So I really agree with your point. Without strong skills or relevant experience, it can be silly and really hard to stand out. And hopefully there will be more job opportunities in the future, and so that people who work hard like your brother get the chances they deserve.
Alright. Once again, thank you so much, Fahira, for sharing such insightful things today. I hope our conversation can encourage all of you who listening. For all of you who are feeling down because of your grades, remember, grades are important, but they are not everything. Intelligence is very Intelligence is very successful powerful, and cannot always be quantified by grades. Thank you for sharing today.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening to RP channel, and don't forget to follow and like this channel and share it to your friends. I'm Fina and there's Fahira. Wait. I'm Fina and there is Fahira. See you in the next episode. Keep learning, keep growing, and believe in yourself because your talent is definitely great. Bye bye. See you.